Well, I subbed as a guest host for radio for a few years, and I loved it so much. And this is how a number of things have happened where I've gotten a taste of something. I'm like, I like that so much, God. That could be a stumbling block for me. So either grow my faith with this desire if it's from you, or take it away altogether, because I don't want to be chasing after self-ambitious goals if they're not from you. But every time I go in to host a radio show, I loved it more, and I loved it more. Well, and I just went after that. And the more that I prayed, take it away, or grow it in me with faith grew. And so finally I got to a place, Lord, in your due time, I'm not going to posture, I'm not going to grasp, I'm not going to try to sit with the right person because I already know the right person. So I'm just going to wait on you, but I really believe in due time I'm going to get my own show. In a day when the economy is turned upside down, I can't even explain to you the details behind the scenes, but miraculously, I got my own show and my own access badge. I can't even believe it. So I have to use that because it's a highly secure place. We got to go to 3 different doors to get into my studio, the studio where we do our daily live talk show. I have to flash that access badge, you know. And so one day I was walking into the station real quickly, and the Lord said, don't ever walk into this building without thanking me for access to my throne, without thanking me for the places I've taken you and the places I'm taking you. And I said, you're right. And I got back in my car, and I bowed my head. And every single day I do, I'm like, I'm never going to forget that I have access to you, and I need it. And I'm never going to forget there's a next place of promise for me to possess, because you are God Most High. And when I got my cubicle, it was so obnoxious. I took pictures and kept texting them to my sons and my honey. Look at this angle. I have a little diffuser. It makes my cubicle smell good. And they're like, okay, keep them coming, you know. And I love my cubicle. So I have the desktop computer that belongs to the station, and I've got my Mac, my laptop. And so I'm oftentimes working on both at the same time. Well, that computer froze up, so I had to call the tech guys from over at the college. And so I'm still working. I'm on the phone with him, but I had so much stuff to do, and I'm working. And he's this really deadpan techie guy, and he's like, your password, ma'am? And I'm like, what? And he was by modem on my screen, and it said, he says, answer the question on the screen, because you know how you come up with your own security questions? And the question on the screen was, what are the names of your husband's feet? That was a question, because I thought no one's going to see my security question, of course. And I go, oh. And he's like, the name of your husband's feet, ma'am? And I'm like, I can explain. Which I now realize he didn't really want me to explain. But I'm like, okay. So when I was a little girl, I was this gymnast, and my dad used to tell me how ugly my feet were. And he's like, you're so cute, honey, but those are really ugly feet. And he'd say, when you find the guy you're going to marry, keep your socks on until he says I do, you know. And to be fair, they were ugly feet. I mean, I would do toe rises on the beam, and so I had toes taped together. They were bad-looking feet. And I'm very self-conscious about my feet. Well, my husband, I don't know very many people who are as comfortable in their own skin as my husband. He's just happy to be him. And this is not an exaggeration, because he's 6'3". In the morning, he pulls the covers up, and his feet pop out, and he waves them and says, hi. Hey! Like they're these long-lost friends. How you? Let's get going on the day, you know. And it's like he's so happy with his feet. I'm like, I can't relate, but he's just comfortable with his feet. So I got so, you know, kind of maybe jealous a little bit. So I eventually I named him Hal and Pal. And I'm like, Hal and Pal, they're your best buddies. And at first he was already about to get offended, and then he's like, no, I like it, Hal, Pal. And he talks to him now, you know. So I'm explaining this to the IT guy. So this is how I landed on naming my husband's feet. And then I go, but I bet you get this kind of stuff all the time. And he goes, not really. But anyway, the moral of the story here, in order to be the me that I'm created to be and the you that you're created to be, we will be called out of our comfort zone. But honestly, this is a good word. But at some point, we got to get comfortable in our own skin. You know, none of us want to be in the beauty race. You know what? That it'll always, you'll either come out on top feeling prideful or underneath feeling despair. We need to kind of paint the barn in the morning and get on with it. You know what I'm saying? Because we carry the treasure in these earthen vessels. If we can just quit committing that sin of comparison, looking to the left and right. You don't have to have small thighs to move mountains. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom of the God Most High is in you. Greater is He that is in you. So do your best. Put a comb through your hair, whatever. But then get on with the big stuff of the kingdom. Amen?